Hello, this is Peter the Whip Gonzalez. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about whips in professional wrestling before I go to see AEW Live in Albany at the MVP Arena. So I'm going to talk about that. Also because I want to explain why did I choose to have a whip in the ring and use it as part of my gimmick, which is circus based, um, I'm doing this because honestly, like, there may be people out there that thinking, "Oh, the whip, you just carry a whip, yada yada. Why? It's not a circus, it's wrestling." And also because somebody told me this ridiculous thing, like, "You using the whip in the ring shows that you escaping the problems, um, without giving a fight." True, agree. It's not fair that you're doing that because it's wrestling. But I'm a heel. I'm the villain. I'm allowed to do that kind of stuff. Especially when we talk about ring psychology, there are faces, there are heels. I'm a heel most of the time. I wrestle as a heel, as a villain. Sometimes we use torture, sometimes we cheat, sometimes we use a whip. And why do I use a whip? Where the idea came from. I'm not the first wrestler ever to have ever used a whip. For those that have knowledge of wrestling history, we can talk about Daddy Dutch Mantel in Puerto Rico. He used to carry a whip, Chew Baby, and he caused so much damage against all the opponents. He was a big heel, a big villain, and that's why I love about Dutch Mantel, the whip. Also, we can talk about Wild Bill Irwin, also known as the Gun in WWE. But before he made it to WWE as the Gun, he was known as Wild Bill Irwin, and he used to also carry a whip. He used to carry a leather whip like the ones that I have right here. This is a leather whip, and you can see this is solid, so I can use this to hit my opponent if I want to cause damage, or I can choke them, or I can use it to whip them after the match, like Wild Bill Irwin did. And there's a match on YouTube. If you can find the match, there's a match in YouTube that has Wild Bill Irwin whipping his opponent after the match. That's why I came up with the idea for me using a whip in the wrestling ring. That's why I do it. That's why I do the gimmick. That's why I came up with it. And for somebody to tell me that, oh, you cannot be using the whip because it will make you look like you're trying to escape your problems, you are missing the point when you say things like that. And also, you are forgetting the purpose of wrestling. And also, you're forgetting the fact that I am a heel. Most importantly, you're forgetting the fact that I'm a freaking heel. So, to be fair, even though I'm a little bit mad, but that's how I came up with the idea. That's why I use it. That's why I carry the whip. It's a storytelling element in the wrestling ring. And some people are going to say, oh, but it's wrestling. You should be wrestling, yada, yada. You know what? I can do hundreds of moves. But sometimes I'm not going to get a reaction. You can do hundreds of moves in the wrestling business. You can do hundreds of dives, and sometimes you're not going to get a reaction. I go for this during a match, and the crowd starts yelling at me, "Boo, cheater, cheater, cheater," and yada yada. And all of a sudden they're popping for the baby face, and they're popping when the ref takes the whip away from me. So, you can say what you want about the whip, but it generates a fan reaction. So it means that I don't need to do hundreds of dives or hundreds of suplexes, which I could do that, but it's not needed because this generates our reactions, and this makes me look like the heel. Because what is a heel in the first place? What is the purpose of being a wrestling villain in the first place? Do you want to out wrestle the babyface as a villain, as a heel? Probably not, but you can still wrestle. But yeah, you should look at it from the perspective of like, how do you generate a reaction from the fans? And yeah, it's a simple gimmick that I'm using to generate a reaction. And it's okay if you don't like it. It's okay if you're upset about the fact that I can generate a reaction from the fans with just the whip. But yeah, so I can wrestle. I can do tell a story. I do moves in the ring sometimes, but I don't do a lot. Why? Because number one, there's not enough time in a match, and also because if I do too many moves, what are the guys at the top of the card will have left to work with? You have to look at wrestling from all different options. But to me, this part of my wrestling gimmicks, and also it aligns with the fact that I play a circus clown, and in the circus, there are people that wear whips and use whips, and I actually know how to do stunts with the whips too. So it's pretty much I'm bringing something that is part of my life, part of who I am as a person, because I love the circus art, and it's my salute to the circus. It's my salute to things that I love, but also in a way to give it respect in the wrestling business, and also to generate story elements because me using the whip can be used as story elements in the ring. And that's the thing that people forget about. You can create storylines with this whip. You know, it can be used to start a feud. It can be used to generate storylines. Oh, you cheated, you used the whip to hit somebody. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with just a simple prop like this. It could be a steel chair too, but in this case, why will I go for a steel chair when I already have the prop right there? Plus, if a fan decide to jump the ring and try to attack me because they don't like me as a heel, I got something to defend myself with. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Peace, everybody. Stay safe.